Today's show is brought to you by Even Keel Fish Shack.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Tuesday. I'm a little bit behind. It's the usual Tuesday confusion, but here we are on the Lunchbox at home. I've got lunch today, gentlemen, because it seems like by popular demand, people want to see Mike Mayo stuff his face on the Lunchbox. I don't know if that's true or not. Do we have scientific evidence of that, Lubie? Have you looked at the numbers comparing?
Yes, the you eating goes over very well. For some reason or another, it disgusts Defo and I, but the rest of the world seems to really get a kick out of it, again, for whatever reason.
And before we get started today, and before I ask Defo how he's doing, just got to put a word out that that podcast that I was a guest on last week, Shayna Weisoff, the Take a Bite Out of South Florida podcast, is now up and live. The episode is actually dropped. It's on Apple, the App Store, or whatever they call it. What do they call it? Apple Podcasts. Yeah. Which is where I guess at some point I'd like to be, but no, you know what? We've got our live stream audience.
It's kind of hard to do it. I mean,
we're not a traditional podcast. We're kind of like a streaming. I like the streaming concept, Defo, because if we are the kings of streaming, a stream of consciousness, sometimes streams of losing tickets, or in our case now, streams of winning tickets, streams of soda and beer and other beverages, sometimes streams of $1 water. How are you today, Jeff Defo?
I'm good. About to do a very popular South Florida thing that actually does involve the food industry, because going out with actually a very famous longtime restaurateur here, Dave B., the great Dave B. of Stinger's fame, and had a couple of other places here in town prior to that, but I've been at Stinger's a long time. He's a member of this boat club up the street here, and 1 o'clock today we're setting sail on the Intercoastal for a little bar hopping and a little dining. So looking forward to a very nice afternoon in the sunshine on the water.
What you're saying is you're cutting out early to play hooky to eat and drink with a restaurant owner. Is this going to potentially lead to some sort of sponsorship deal, or what
no,
is
I
your
don't think so.
excuse?
Dave B, he's closer to selling out than he is to looking to advertise. But he's been doing it for so long. He actually has a great place there. Very, very underrated for the food, Stingers. Which is sort of unique because it's really the only bar in that area. You know, he's got a stretch of the Pompano Beach area there on A1A that there's really nothing else for like at least 3/4 or half a or a mile or so, and so he gets a lot of the business there from both tourists and the locals, and makes a good pizza, surprisingly good pizza for a bar of this type.
You've spoken about this numerous times. I'd like to get in there. But speaking of pizza, tomorrow...
he wants to do a show there. The possibility of extracting any kind of sponsor dollars from Dave B., though, seems to be very prohibitive.
Well, I mean, if he's at the point of almost cashing out,
he's he's ready to go every day.
You could just say, hey, spare a little cutter for the, for the old codger. And so, but all right, we don't need to be getting into the whole business, the how the sausage is made here. Talking about sausage, maybe a sausage and mushroom or vegetable pizza tomorrow at the pizza spot.
The veggie pizza. I don't know if you're going to, accommodate the old fart here, but I do love that veggie pizza.
With my winnings from the Derby, I will buy you a veggie pizza. I think with your winnings from the Derby, you should buy Lubie a pizza, and I'll pay for my own damn pizza now because I can afford it after hitting that pick 4 in the Derby. And again, it's been far too long. I saw Wade over the weekend. I did stop in there for a little of my favorite plain pie that just has a little bit of the tomato sauce, which is so delicious. In my mind, he has the best sauce around. I love the sauce that Wade uses at a pizza spot. And did I mention, Defo, how easy it is to find pizza spot in Fort Lauderdale?
It's so simple. It's a joke. Man.
Well, you just punch in, 602 Southwest 12th Avenue in your GPS system, and it practically just now these cars, the Tesla, you just type in the address, the car will drive itself.
You don't even have to hold the wheel.
could
It's
not
great.
be any easier. So anything that I may have said in the past about any difficulties, because it's kind of nestled. The word we use is nestled in that
It is
You
lovely.
made it sound like you had to be Magellan to find this joint. I mean, it's simple. I mean, it really
Well,
is.
I think that some of the foodies out there like a challenge, kind of like having that
Makes it
scavenger hunt
exclusive.
mentality,
Yeah.
exclusive, hidden gem. They love using that word
Yes,
hidden gem,
exactly.
even for like, oh, found this hidden gem, carbone. I've never heard of that. It's like, Jesus,
Here's the thing. People say it's hard to find, but that couldn't be any further from the truth
Yes.
as you're recommending the place. Yes.
well, no, but
So easy that even the biggest of morons in our audience would be able to locate this in
hey,
seconds.
hey, don't denigrate our audience. If they could figure out the Mike Mayo 10 Palms Gulfstream
Yeah,
contest,
exactly.
I mean, not only have they
That's
nailed
insane.
it,
Yeah.
when I throw in those extra curveballs,
Yeah.
like for a tiebreaker, we're going to have the Kentucky Derby winner. They get it and they nail it. I am just in awe of our audience.
I think
So
you included last week. You had to have the Super Bowl winner also from next year.
For
you have to
next year.
remember the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
so all those tickets are on hold.
Who won this year's Super Bowl? It was
Come on, man. You know that. Patrick
Kansas
Mahomes
City
and company. They
Kansas
buried
City
the
Chiefs.
Eagles while I was in Atlantic City. And the
Philadelphia Eagles.
who
Eagle
lost,
fans, I still have visions of the Eagle fans being carried out of the casino in body bags, literally.
who lost last year's Super Bowl, the 2022 Super Bowl.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. What about Super Bowl IV? You want to go back there?
You're getting into sports. We're not
I'm
allowed
going to
to
say Super Bowl IV was Kansas City versus Green Bay. How about
There you
that?
go.
Is that
Remember,
right or
with
wrong?
Ron, it's shut up and dribble. With us, it's shut up and eat and talk food.
Okay, all
Then
right, here we
Kansas
go.
City played the Vikings. They might have played the Vikings.
Yeah, let's not rankle our audience any further, but I do want to start with just congratulations to Lubie and the Heat. Did you ever break a sweat? I mean, last night's game, I know you were saying, oh, they still kept it within 5, but let's face it, it was one of those hurricane years where all the storms, like anytime it comes close to getting in the cone of concern, they just curve up the coast. Like that game last night, the Knicks, even though they flirted with single digits, you never got the sense that they're going to pull out that game. They just didn't look very good, right?
I am always, you're talking to the wrong guy. I actually am envious of sports fans who can watch their team and enjoy it. Shirley actually looks at me, my wife, to bring in Joanne, people who don't care about sports. We'll talk about the larger picture, and says, "Are you enjoying yourself?" I'm like, I don't think I am, but I don't know how else to do this. And my dad is really ingrained in me that you have to stress every moment of every game unless they're up by like 35. And even then, Defo's actually heard me when FSU was up by 50 over Louisiana Monroe yelling at the TV. So even then, I don't know if I enjoy it. I don't know. I'm a sick individual.
You're on the sports fan spectrum somewhere.
Yes, I'm deaf. Yes, if there's a sports fan spectrum for lunacy, I am the king and everyone else is under me.
See, I've beaten that all out of my system. I think it left sometime in 1994 when the Rangers finally won the Stanley Cup. That was the last bits of fandom escaping my cynical body. I was there for it, actually covering it for the Sun Sentinel. And boy, what a glorious time, glorious night that was. Even though I was a total professional, no cheering in the press box. But later that night, I did get rip-roaring drunk and said I saw something I never thought I'd see, Defo. And I guess Knicks fans are now wondering the same thing. Will they ever see the Knicks hoist another championship trophy? What's the last time? 71? Willis Reed? 70? What was it? You're the New York historian.
73, somewhere in there.
73.
Really coincides with the Dolphins. Like that's why I really do think these two organizations are hand in hand. They had their greatness at the same time, and I think their titles are the same years actually.
And they're also owned by very rich and sometimes schmucky owners that just do crazy things. So that's it. All right. Well, look, here we are. We do talk a little bit more sports this time of the year when it's warranted, okay? And I think when you have both winter teams that both were number 8 seeds and both the expectations were set very low heading into the playoffs, and they are both shocking the world. And it could be argued, apart from maybe the LA Lakers, who look terrific, but that both the Heat and the Panthers look to be maybe the most impressive teams in their respective sports so far. And both have 3-1 leads in their respective series. Need one more game to go.
They have a 3-0 lead.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Excuse me. They haven't lost yet. 3-0. They both have 3 wins. Both 1 win away from their conference finals.
Yes.
So again, let's just luxuriate and bathe in the moment for a while. And sorry to disturb the food people out there. But hey, food people, if you are looking for a double hidden gem, Tom T, our friend, says go check out Tom's Louisiana Kitchen. he's now in 2 locations for the benefit of our Broward folks. He's dropped anchor, so to speak, at the Anchors Away dive bar in Deerfield Beach. Great spot, and has a nice little kitchen in there, and he brings some of his stuff. Go to Tom's Louisiana Kitchen's Facebook page for his full schedule. I can't keep up anymore. He's going back. He's forth. He's both places at once. He's cloned himself. Tom T, good job. There's my hidden gem
Yes, that's it.
promo of the day. We do love Tom T and all his food. Where was I, Defo? Can somebody rescue me from myself?
Well, you're going to eat.
Oh, yes,
This is
that's
this place. And you should tell these because not everyone watches our show, even though we would appreciate them watching our show.
You're talking about the morning sports Defo.
Yeah, why you got the fried chicken bug. I feel like it has something to do with what Defo was talking about this morning.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, Defo loves 2 things. He loves talking about defunct restaurants and now lately dead horses. But he also seems to love talking about New York restaurants because instead of getting a Sun Sentinel that would tell him about the local restaurant scene, and I used to be part of the Sun Sentinel. I'm still partial to it because they let us. We are good friends and symbiotic partners on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook page, and Gretchen. We love Gretchen, and the Sun Sentinel always has some interesting food stories as well, including on today's front page about a lawsuit against McDonald's. But before we get into that, I will indulge my New York centric friend. And so what were you going off about? The New York Post wrote a story about some Filipino
This place sounds interesting.
Chunky Boss is the name of the place.
Can you spell that, please? Is it like Chuck E. Cheese with an E?
Chunky Boss.
Candy bar.
Chunky, like the candy bar that I loved and that I now resemble. That's Chunky.
That's the name of the place.
Chunky what? Chunky Cheese?
Chunky Boss, Michael.
Chunky Boss. BOSS.
Okay, boss.
What are they boss at?
They're boss of New York City right now in terms of restaurant popularity.
Okay, are you going to be difficult? Is this going to be like a?
No, I don't know.
Is this going to be a cross examination?
You're putting words in my mouth in the usual, slanderous fashion, and it's okay, man.
I'm going to give you. Okay,
you just keep going, Mike.
Well, anyways,
no, I want to know more about what
you do know everything about it. You're asking me, and you know the answer to this question. So you've already taken action based on the fact that you know everything about Chunky Boss. So
I know nothing about Chunky Boss. I know that it was spotlighted in the New York Post. Can you tell me more about it? It's
a very popular place. They put out a chicken cutlet and
type of
very
cuisine.
Popular.
Is it it's a Filipino place? I think you would say.
Supposedly.
Yeah. No, you mentioned a place that's very similar that's down here. So
well, I mean,
you're
I didn't
pulling my
mean to
chain
piss
here on
all
the
over your.
program.
No. It's like you know how lawyers, when they get into the depositions, they know the answers already, but they
all
still
right.
have
Well,
to.
then no need to ask the question. Just keep going.
But I want to be engaging with you, and
you're not, so it's all right. I mean, you're being, your usual condescending about anything that has something to do with a popular place that is a phenomenon in the Philippines.
The only reason I'm being condescending is because it has little to no relevance to, I guess, a mostly South Florida audience. I know that we do have viewers and members of Let's Eat all over the country, really all over the world. But, our base, you always got to kind of, I don't want to say pander to your base, but play to your base. But our base is South Florida. So if Chunky Cheese or Chunky King or Chunky Boss is the rage of New York, what does that do for me?
Because they make
apparently not much. Yeah, I mean, so you can move on. Why even bother discussing?
No, because I'm intrigued by it.
You're not intrigued by it. I mean, you're completely dumping on the whole idea. I find it fascinating when a place comes from somewhere else, wherever they happen to land with their first store, and the place is slammed. That it's so popular that they can't even keep their business hours open. They are supposed to be open till 7. They're sold out every day by 1. People are lined up 4 miles down the block. I find it interesting when a place has that kind of popularity, and I would think that the people of South Florida might be curious, hey, is one of those places coming here? If it's that good.
That's a good question. Do you have the answer to that question?
No. I mean, you just brought it up.
We figure you would.
Why would I? I didn't see the story. I don't pay $600 a year for the New York Post. I pay 99 cents for my digital subscription to the Sun Sentinel, which is how I first learned about. Actually, not. I learned about it from the Let's Eat group, Jollibee, which is a popular Filipino chain that also specializes in fried chicken buckets, and also some other chicken nuggets. This place, you said, what do they sell out of every day? Everything, or or a
They
cutlet?
make a chicken cutlet.
Is that a Filipino
They're
dish?
sold out. They're sold out every day by 1 o'clock.
Is that a
That's it.
I don't
Filipino?
know. Just skip it, Michael. I mean, it's okay.
No, I don't want to
I'm not
skip it. I'm
offended by it. I
intrigued.
mean, if you're not interested in it, that's fine.
I didn't. Okay,
Move
now
on,
you're
right?
putting words in my mouth. I
Have
never
your
said
chicken sandwich, and we'll watch you eat it, and that'll be fine. Never
Is
mind this
that a
chicken chunky
Filipino
boss.
dish?
No.
Because I have many friends that are Filipino.
It's a Filipino dish,
Spam is
and
a big
it's
deal.
very popular in the Philippines. They have they're like McDonald's in the Philippines.
That's what I'm curious about because I have a lot of friends that are Filipino and they make spam and rice and eggs is like a big thing for them. And I don't know if that's a real Filipino thing, but they do it here. But I've never seen them do cutlets. So that sounds interesting to me. Like
Supposedly great. I mean, it's all the rage, like I said.
Well,
But it's of no interest to Mayo. So let's just. What do you got there? You got a chicken sandwich? What do you
Hey,
have?
no,
for
I'm
lunch
not going to
there,
get
Mike?
into it
No.
yet because now you've got me down the path here of first of
You
all,
know, it's not worth arguing about. It really is.
no, we're not arguing. I just
I'm curious.
a lot of these Filipino restaurants, including Jollibee, for some reason, fried chicken has become like among the Filipino fast food restaurants. It seems like fried chicken is a big thing, and obviously, if this chunky boss is all the rage, I'd be interested to see if they do have expansion plans. This Jollibee place, okay. Now I'm bringing it to South Florida. Jollibee opened a couple of years ago on Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. I went out there one day to check it out. The fried chicken was very good, but what most intrigued me, Defo, because you know how I can't resist a dish of good weird spaghetti, and like you were mentioning, Lubie, that they use spam when rice in a lot of some of these Filipino dishes. Well, this is a variation of it. They have like a spaghetti with chopped up hot dogs and spam and this like sweet sauce. It's like a tomatoes, like a sweet and sour sauce almost. And if this sounds like Skyline chili to the nth degree going the wrong way, and as somebody who likes Skyline chili, because I like any spaghetti dish, just top it with any kind of weird crap, and I'll try it. But the Jollibee spaghetti with chopped hot dogs, and I don't know if it had spam or that's an add-on if you want. One of the worst things I've ever put in my mouth. Yet, oddly, I could not stop eating it. I probably ate the whole thing, but it's something I would never really want to eat again. So Jollibee was a sensation for a little bit here. People were posting about it a lot on Let's Eat South Florida. But the Chunky Boss, we're going to investigate. We're going to see if one's
That would be like a fast food because from what Defo is saying, Chunky Boss, and I looked at the menu, it looks interesting. It's like a fast food kind of a thing.
No, Jollibee is fast food, total fast food, but it's a Filipino fast food establishment. And they do some also kind of little offbeat menu items. Like they have really good like coconut cream pie or mango pie. Like they have all kinds of tropical fruit dishes and stuff like that. So Jollibee is Pines. I think it's just west of, it's either Hiatus. You guys look it up. You got the Google machine, you got GPS. Easy to find too, Jollibee. So that's it.
Interesting. I've never heard of it.
But and then when you're talking about like more traditional, there's a place in Fort Lauderdale, right on 17th Street there, called Isla Filipinas Cafe that has traditional fare. And remember that time when I showed up at a local parimutuel on the Racetrack Friday, Defo, and I brought a whole bunch of food, and that was like that noodle dish. There's something called pancit. There's my 50-year-old brain is failing me now, but some of the dishes there at Filipino cuisine. There's chicken adobo. That's what the Filipino cuisine is famous for. Chicken adobo. It's kind of like a stewed chicken. But do you remember that? And did you like?
Oh yeah,
that?
very popular. It was a good place. Wherever you got that food from was a big hit.
Yeah, it's along that 17th Street corridor, which is has a lot of different Filipino markets and restaurants for the reason that it's very close to the Port Everglades, and the cruise ships come in, and it's not the Midwesterners who are going on the cruise ships that stop off at those Filipino markets. It's the workers, the industry workers on cruise ships. Most of them who work on the cruise ships, the below deck hands, the engineers, and a lot of them are from the Philippines. So when they stop here, they want Filipino cuisine. So that's how things sprout up. It's supply and demand. And I highly recommend that Isla Filipinas Cafe there on 17th Street. So here we brought it back to a happy place, Defo. We've talked a little bit
I'm not
about.
unhappy. I mean,
That was
you're
the
the one that
point.
gets all upset. I'm here. I'm just here to support the program.
I wasn't upset. I'm pretty gruntled at this point, to tell you the truth, because I've got now part 2 of the eating today is the Cluckin' Hot Chicks here. If you could see this, it's a
They
little bit
only do
backwards.
hot. Is it only hot?
No, they have. Okay, so today what I did is in the middle of my Best of Del Rey weekly Zoom meeting, I didn't want to give Uber Eats my money. I just couldn't do it. So I didn't have the delivery. The place opens at 11 and they have an online ordering system, but it's a drive-through place. It's a former Checkers located on South Federal Highway in Dania, just a few blocks north of our friends at Shenanigans. But this place, it's I guess also a chain. The first one in South Florida. I don't know where they are at. I don't know if they originated in the Tennessee, Nashville area, but they're based off the whole hot chicken sandwiches. And they also do pieces, parts, fried chickens. They do quarter chickens. They do half chickens. But I went for the hot chicken sandwich. You can order it mild. And listen to this. I ended up scamming my way into a third side dish because when you order a sandwich online, you could do add-ons of sides, and I thought, well, one comes with, I got collard greens, and then I ordered, I thought, mac and cheese, but
collard greens. Oh, interesting.
yeah, they do collard greens for some reason, and they also do mac and cheese. And I thought on the order form for the the online ordering, I ordered collard greens, and I thought I ordered mac and cheese, but when I pulled up, the bag said potato salad. I was like, I don't want potato salad. I want macaroni and cheese. And I looked back at it, and actually, I must have mispunched the potato salad. And I made a little stink, like I was a LESF member. I said, I wanted mac and cheese. And the guy said, here, let me get it for you. And then he didn't pull out the potato salad. He just said, I'm just going to give you the mac and cheese as an add-on. You can try it. Of course, it didn't hurt that I used my real name on the online order, so maybe they have me on them. Shamelessly getting extra things here. All right, so I've got my collards, my potato salad, my mac and cheese, and we have a Nashville hot chicken sandwich, battered and coated. And look, it's dripping with this sauce. This is going to be on my face in a second because the people love that, Defo. And last time, okay, so I went in there the first week when things were a little bit disorganized, and I got myself a chicken sandwich that it says it comes with slaw, the special sauce, and pickles. Well, lo and behold, when I got that sandwich and I finally ate it, there were no pickles on it. And to me, the pickles is an essential component of a hot chicken sandwich.
Yes.
And so this time I said, hold the coleslaw and just give me the pickles. Now the pickles are on the bottom, as you can see here.
Chick-fil-A does that.
Chick-fil-A does the bottom. I sometimes prefer, and they're a little bit chintzy on the pickles. They're very thin, and they don't even cover the whole bun. So I'm going to give them a downgrade for the pickle game. But here we go. And you can see at the bottom, this is a fried chicken. And the hot chicken, they fried in this hot, like, I guess, like a Chinese chili oil almost, I guess. It's kind of like a hot batter and the kind of greasy seeping. But here we go. Defo, I don't know if you want to talk about chunky cheese or chunky boss or your anything else that you want to talk while I chow down on this sandwich.
Oh, well, just watch.
Okay.
And this place is called Hot Chick. What is it called?
It's called, what is it called? Cluckin' Hot Chicks. Cluckin' Hot Chicks.
Oh, it's interesting.
So it begins with a CL, not an F, but Cluckin' Hot Chicks. And it's part of this new boom. It seems like there's a new chicken places opening up and down that federal corridor in Hollywood. A place just opened called Mad Chicken that I've driven by a couple of times. All right, here we go.
Jesus, that's a big sandwich.
Oh, there we go.
It is impressive how big your mouth can go.
I got some schmutz.
And you always get it on your face. That's also another impressive move, that you can get it all over your face and also eat the whole thing.
So that one, I got a lot of batter. I got a lot of sauce.
It looks like the Popeyes one. That's what it feels like.
It feels like a little bit heftier. Now look at how thin that little. I'm dropping over my keyboard, but that little piece of the actual chicken breast, it's a little bit thin, so it's almost overwhelmed by the batter. Here, this is a little bit thicker, a little thicker there. So let me finish this bite, and I'll give you my opinion. How do the Marlins look lately?
The way you bite. It's amazing.
Defoe's already on strike. He's not. He's not.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
what do you
there.
want me to say? You want me to do a play-by-play on this mess?
I could do
mean,
anything you want. Just
yeah.
like fill the air, fill the dead air, so they don't have to just hear me
I'm,
chomping. on
you
this
know, I'd
shit.
be talking all the time. I mean, if I was filling the dead
I-
air. What
I
are you talking about?
Phenomenal. The way you can bite.
Looks good. I mean, it looks good, Michael.
I think the way you can
They
bite.
gave here were the options for the spice level.
Yeah.
There was just like no spice, mild, medium, hot. Then there was like crazy hot, and there was like WTF hot. So I went to just hot. So like the third lowest, and it has good spice. I mean, I'm going for the water, but my overall critique, it's kind of the same as the first week, because when I tried it the first week, and even though it didn't have the pickles and it had the slaw, I just said, it's a good crispy chicken sandwich, but is it worth more than double what they're charging? Literally, just I think like 200 yards to the north is a Popeyes. So Popeyes chicken sandwich, you can get a spicy battered chicken sandwich for, I think it's like, is it $4.99 now? So it's like $5.
Like $5. I think.
$5, and this one is $9. So it comes into the whole cost factor equation. I left a comment to that effect on Burger Beast. Did a post about this place when he rolled through in the first couple of weeks, and I said, yeah, I tried it, and for me, it's good. It's a good sandwich, but is it worth double what I could get right down the block at Popeyes? And the answer was, I don't know. And now as I eat this one, I mean, Popeyes has different sides. They have dirty rice. Let me try the collard greens. It's good. It's got some good.
Well, it feels like it's different kind of level of side. Is that thing? I'm curious about chicken. Like we talk about beef quality. Like, is there a different kind of quality with a place like that, chicken wise, as opposed to like a Popeyes? Like Popeyes may have hormones, and a place like this won't use hormones, and that's why they can get away with it being $9-10.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know where they source their chicken breast from. Generally, chicken is chicken, but you're right. Some of them use the ones that
organic and
yeah,
whatever.
the antibiotic free, non-hormone additive free. This tastes it's good. It's good, and the thing is, I would say, for if I have my daughter one night and we don't feel like going to Chipotle and we want to just do a grab and go dinner, we'd roll through here and get a couple of these sandwiches and sides, and we'd be pretty satisfied. And again, it's it's another option out there. And you know what? Hell of a no, I don't. How do I want to phrase it? I like it better than the place it replaced. And the place it replaced was Checkers. No, Checkers.
Checkers is the worst.
Checker. Okay, you said it, not me. But
Yeah, not a sponsor. Checkers.
I know.
Checkers is fast food. Like it's funny. I grew up on Checkers, and I liked it growing up. But like fast food wise, and I'm a fast food eater. Like you guys are actually really good about not eating fast food. I eat it because of the trivia nights. I'll have nothing, so I'll write out and I'll stop at McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's, like hardcore fast food. So I'll eat fast food, and there's something about Checkers. Like I give it a try every few months just to see why it's in existence. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's in existence.
Now, you know what? It's pretty good. It's a pretty good sandwich, and I like the collard greens. It's got some, smoky bits of the ham hocks in there. And let me try the potato salad. A little bit mayonnaisey. Kind of bland. It doesn't have any mustard or vinegar component. Again, I don't know why I ordered the potato salad, because I didn't intend to, but they gave it to me anyway. And the mac and cheese. It's mac and cheese. It's floppy.
Is it kind, or is it like the island baked kind?
No, there's no crunchy bits at the top. It's
I
just
don't care about the crunchy, but there's creamy, like we had last week at Wicked Cheesesteaks. And then there's the times where you'll get it like where it's like just noodles with cheese, and it's not creamy. More of like
a little creamy.
baked.
No, it seems like a 3 cheese melt that they blend up and whip together, and it's got all melted in there. So yeah, it's your basic mac and cheese. It's fine. It's good. I mean, I don't know if I put it into heavy rotation, but when I want a hot chicken sandwich, and if I feel like getting some, I guess, amplified sides instead of just rolling through Popeyes, I'd go there. So you know what, people, check it out for yourself. Make your own
hot chicks.
form your own decisions. But Cluckin' Hot Chicks is relatively new in the Dania Beach area. Jeff Defo DeForest, Tom T asks about a place that I like a lot. in Boca called Fran's Chicken Haven. They are known for fried chicken. They also do some chicken sandwiches there, which I've had. Have you ever been to Fran's? Um, Fran's in Boca. It's in a little shopping mall on North Federal Highway.
I have not, but I know people that love it. They rave about it, and including some people that should have some taste in that category that grew up in the Deep South, and they say it's the best in South Florida. A lot of people claim it is. Fran's Fried Chicken in Boca.
To get out
Little
there.
hole in the wall place, hidden gem,
Yeah.
easy to find too. So it's we
And
love those easy to find hidden
And they do
gems.
Southern. Is it like? Because I always assumed fried chicken was Southern, but it's not always. Like fried chicken can be a barbecue thing, and sometimes it's a Southern. Like they do collard greens and mac. Because I want good fried chicken. Like, I would.
It's good fried chicken. And look at me, I'm like a chipmunk. I'm storing the food in the sides of my mouth while I'm talking. Right next to Flakowitz is deli up there,
Like,
but it's Southern style, yeah.
okay.
And again, very small hole in the wall joint. You walk in there, it's oozing with character. Not many seats, not very comfortable. I think they have a couple of tables outside, mainly a grab and go takeout place. But there's a place also that I've never been to that my predecessor as food critic at the Sun Sentinel, John Tanachuk, gave high praise. I don't know if he gave 4 stars or 3.5. Place near you, Defo, or it used to be in Pompano called Maryland Fried Chicken. And I don't know if it's on.
I'm familiar with that one.
Because someone was talking about that. I think the last time we did this fried chicken talk, but then like I don't remember if it exists.
I've been meaning to get in there forever. It's been there forever. They must be doing
Maryland
something
chicken.
right. Small storefront. Tell me if it's
Exists.
Sample Road. What's the address there, Lubie? I'm gonna keep demolishing. The sandwich is pretty good. And I like the
It's not
heat.
horrible. It's 1821 Northeast 36th Street.
Ah,
It seems
Yeah,
like it's
where?
primetime Pompano Beach. How have I never seen that? I've never even heard of it.
it's on a major roadway. I've driven past it. Let me look on a map.
I'll
But
go there today. You people want have me wanting fried chicken.
yeah, I keep eating, and
Do that.
the people, hopefully, they're not dropping off like fries. That's a good sandwich. You know what? The more I eat, the more the heat tingles with me, and I'm gonna say a little bit heftier, and the batter is definitely crunchier and probably better quality than Popeyes. So maybe it's worth the extra money. That's a question only you, your accountant, and your bookmaker can answer. This week, my pockets are loaded, so I will buy chicken sandwiches for maybe not the entire neighborhood, but maybe my block anyway. So, hey, we got to talk about who are we talking about now? Tropical Acres, of course. Defo. You know what this Sunday is? What are you doing for Mother's Day, Defo?
Nothing that I know of. mother
You're just looking at the
unfortunately
clock
passed
saying,
away.
"Is it 12:40?"
No, I got to get going soon anyway.
Gotta
But
get
it
going.
has been a fascinating show. So I was very happy to be a part of
I
it.
get
In
the
fact,
feeling
I'm
you're
going to make
annoyed at
this.
me.
I'm going to make this. No, nothing you do bothers me. Believe me, I've done 8 million shows, Michael. There's no way to alienate me during a program.
Let me remind you, Dr.
I've been on
Barnes.
good ones. I've been on bad ones. And there have been good episodes of good shows and bad episodes of shows that you usually think should bring more to the table. But no, in this case, I'm looking forward to this little journey. It's kind of like being Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now. Get on a pontoon boat and go up and down the intercoastal. So no, you couldn't possibly put a damper on the rest of the day. But I do have to get out of here in a few minutes. So Tropical Acres
you're
will
gonna
be
be you're
a
gonna
good
be
celebration.
gone after the first break. Don't worry, and you're gonna have a great time. I'm just gonna say, lather up with the sunscreen.
The sunscreen, it's hot.
Very hot and sultry. I took a walk of life this morning. I was surprised by how humid and sticky it was out there at like 9 in the morning. So that's going to be advice number 1. And advice number 2 is if you don't have plans for Mother's Day, our friends at Tropical Acres tell me, I texted with Jack Studiali yesterday. He says prime time is booked solid. Now, basically from 5 to 6:30, you're not going to be able to get in there. However,
Later.
go earlier in the day because they're open on Mother's Day from 1 to 8 p.m. And he says that 1 to 4 o'clock range, that's the sweet spot. So go in for a Sunday supper with mom.
That's kind of a thing.
Get it over with. And it's better because everybody's, in there. The service is at the beginning of the day and it hasn't gotten completely bonkers, but they know how to handle everything there because they're old pros and they're used to big crowds and efficiency and making everybody happy and making sure they leave, satisfied and feeling like they got treated like VIPs and fed like kings, like King Charles. And you can get the king cut of the prime rib for mom if she is into the prime rib. It is special there. And of course, they have other cuts of steak. I love their filet. I love their seafood, lobster, salmon, twin lobster special. I don't think it's back just yet, but it's right around the corner. So if you want to get in there for Mother's Day, again, earlier in the day is good. 1 to 4 o'clock is the sweet spot. Later in the day, 7 o'clock, they're going to be serving till 8. Probably could squeeze in there. It's a great place to go. 954-989-2500 for your Mother's Day reservations, or make a reservation for any day. Going on Saturday night, celebrate a night early, or go in there tonight. Pretend that it's Mother's Day on a Tuesday, and then you get half-price wine and all kinds of goodies, including happy hour in the bar from 4:30 to 6:30. Great deals await, great service, great value. We love Tropical Acres. Been open since 1949. The Studiali family know how to treat people just right. Tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, vegetable pizza for me tomorrow. You guys
Yes.
carry on. Good luck, Lubie, and more of the lunchbox as I make my exit in a moment.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all: Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach, Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. We're back. Oh, on the Lunchbox, and man, a little piece of the hot chicken just fell right down my throat. We're back on the lunch. Man, it's one of those Tuesdays. Defo is gone. I think he had the right idea flying the coop. First of all, I got to remind him, but he's gone now. He created this. He's Dr. Frankenstein. He's the one who came up with this concept and had the idea of thinking that it'd be good to have a food show driven by me, yours truly, the gambling gourmet, Mike Mayo. So whatever aggravation that he derives from me, it's his home damn fault. And I don't know. What do you think, Lubie? Am I mean to him? I'm just saying, he loves talking about the New York stuff or places that existed 30 years ago. And I try to be a little bit more relevant. Call me crazy. I think it's, people will want some obviously entertainment and shtick, and we love Defo because he is the king of stories and going. I love hearing about his sense of humor is great. Fantastic. I love the guy, and he's we go back and forth on the pendulum of who's the bigger degenerate week to week. Yes. It gets a little crazy. Yesterday, I don't know where he was in a rush to go. I know the only racetracks going were parks and this new entity called Horseshoe, Indiana, which, I don't know where you stick your horseshoes in Indiana, but he likes, I guess it used to be known as, I don't even know what it used to be known as, but it's outside one of these casinos. But, Defo actually hits on the Derby, and he can't wait to get rid of the money on gambling everywhere on a Monday, Tuesday. I got that money. I pulled it out. I'm spending it on different things. Mother's Day. We're talking about Mother's Day. Do you know where I'm taking? And, the annual tradition is I take my daughter and her mom, Michelle, out, as a show of appreciation because, even though we're no longer a couple and I like having family time, my daughter wants to celebrate with her mom. So I give them the choice every year of where they want to go, where Michelle wants to go. Guess what she chose this year?
Well, we talked about it, and I'm jealous because you've been there 12 times. You're there every week. And I haven't tried it yet. And outside of the one person on Let's Eat, because Let's Eat can always find the person to spit at something great. The reviews have been astounding. The reviews have been amazing, both in vibe, service, and food. Anthony's Runway 84. So I'm super jealous that you're going to be heading back out there. So you'll have to pull me in on how that goes. It's funny. I'm born and raised here. So I grew up with the New York sentiment being strong and being one of those people saying, if you want your New York stuff, go back to New York. I'm not going to.
Yeah, again, with the Chinese food and the pizza. There's plenty of good stuff down here.
And I met Defo, and I've been now with Defo. We're on 13. We'll be 13 years come his birthday weekend. And I've learned that the New York contingent is so strong down here that if you find a way to relate New York to here, which he's actually really good at, and that's when people try to do that with him. No, he's not Sid Rosenberg. He's not Mr. New York. He actually loves the South Florida food and sports scene. He just relates it to his youth in New York. So
the man hasn't lived there in 50 years. He's been in LA for 8 years and then the last 42.
I don't mind when he does it because a lot of the time what happens in New York, and you've said this, look at the pizza place, Pepe's. It's a Jersey place, and now it's in
No, that's a New Haven. Don't confuse it. You'll get those
I'm talking about Northeast stuff.
Yes, Northeastern things.
So I think because he brought it up to me this morning because he was trying to think if it's down here or if it's coming. So the hope was I brought it up here thinking you may know because you're really good with restaurateurs.
No, no,
And stuff.
I am totally clueless about this chain. I haven't heard about it until I was listening to your morning show. And the only thing that sticks in my craw is like he gets his New York Post. He's willing to spend God knows how much, $800 a year on his New York Post. And then, when they write about a New York restaurant, he sees that. And then, I understand that he wants to kind of bring it down to South Florida in terms of, is it here? Is it
That's the
coming here?
idea.
These are good questions. But I come from the approach of like, something similar is already here. Open your eyes to what's out there. Be adventurous. Jollibee, for those who like Filipino fast food fried chicken and spaghetti with gross sauce and spam and hot dogs, is your place. And it's right here in our backyards.
And that's why we have you
So,
in our lives. And that's why he decided
yeah.
to do the
And,
show.
and,
I
and then I don't know. And then I don't know if he's just shutting down. And then I don't know if it's petulance or whatever, but then, I want to have a little back and forth about it. And he just shuts down like, no, okay. And once he goes to the one word Greg Popovich answers, then I know I'm in the Popovich zone, which is like, there's no way to interview a recalcitrant. And it's not an interview. We're going back and forth. And God, he's a great co-host. I love, did I tell you how much fun I have like every day of the week? No matter
It's
what.
fun. Defo's not
Defo
argue guy.
shows up.
You don't mind a little
No.
bit of arguing. Defo's not. Like people will try to do with him, and he
just shuts down.
doesn't like.
He just shuts
He
down.
likes having
Yeah.
fun and poke.
Wait, but for somebody who doesn't like to argue, he likes to throw grenades in the middle of the ring
He
sometimes.
likes
like,
doing that, and he doesn't mind. That's what's funny is he doesn't mind if you mock him for his degeneracy or his
Right.
laziness, but he doesn't
a little
want.
sensitive about the age
He doesn't
thing.
want
He
back,
could make
he
fun
doesn't
of
like the age thing, and he doesn't like back and forth. Like the back and forth stuff is not his thing. He just
it sounds fake to him, but to me, that's real. That's
He's-
how I grew up. Like in Brooklyn, that's all me and my friends and their families, all we did was argue with each other. It was like a, Jewish, maybe he's running away from that. I'm going to turn into the instant analyst, therapist shrink that maybe there was a lot of that in his youth and he just doesn't want a part of that.
I don't know. I just know on air, even off air, he's not a combative dude. He's a very
No.
laissez-faire, have fun. When it gets combative, he takes himself out of the conversation and he moves on. So
I would describe him as an avoider. Like sometimes he just wants to avoid unpleasant things, and
he'll talk unpleasant stuff. He's not a jerk off. He just doesn't want to argue about things he thinks are menial. And talking about food, he
Right.
likes to talk about food. He likes to discuss food.
Right.
He doesn't want to argue. And we don't do that here very often, but people will do that on Let's See. And that's the thing. He's not a fan of the argue. It's like, it's just food, guys. Like, there's no need to argue. And I can't look, and because I came into this world thinking that's what sports talk was, and he never did that. So I had to learn early. Yeah, maybe he's not wrong. Like, at least to me now, being around him for so long, I don't like it anymore. Like
Well, I hate the nonsensical sports arguments that the debate topic of the day that people they script ahead of time. Who's going to be on this side? Who's going to be on that? I mean that silly sports talk stuff. I agree, but if he's going to bring up about a New York restaurant sensation, and then I asked him about it, then be prepared to talk about it. He didn't want to talk about it because he thought I shot it down because I was criticizing the fact that it's not here. And you know what? We'll move on. I did want to talk about. I didn't get his take. The post that it's a Sun Sentinel story that is a court case that is actually in front of a jury now. A trial just begun, a civil trial, apparently where. It's a woman who has at the time, a 4-year-old daughter, suing McDonald's for a scalding hot chicken McNugget.
Hey, what?
I don't know if you saw this.
I thought you were going to talk about the coffee that.
No, this is not the coffee story, but what I framed it as before I read the whole story, because this is Facebook world where I just see the headline and I jump on it and I posted it. And it's basically family sues McDonald's over hot chicken nuggets, and it was from a restaurant, McDonald's in Tamarack,
It's here.
dating back to 2019. And again, these court cases, they take a long way to wind through there. But for it to get in front of a jury, it means there is some merit to the case. The judge has decided it's not frivolous. He's not tossing it, that there's some merit. It's actually gotten to the stage where now they're at trial in front of a jury 4 years later. And the instant reaction is, oh God, the hot coffee case again. The hot coffee case, let me remind everybody, yeah, you think it's ridiculous to sue over having hot scalding coffee. And it wasn't the woman poured it in her lap while she was driving. I guess it was like fell in her lap at a later time when she wasn't driving and it was still scalding hot, and it caused her some major burns. And all she wanted was to have her medical costs taken care of by McDonald's. They refused. That's what prompted the whole lawsuit back then. And I think our legal system is a wonderful thing, as somebody who's, benefited from it, and might be, always looking for new targets. No, I'm just kidding. But in this case, the woman, the daughter, and this should really be in the headline of the first paragraph. The girl was apparently is autistic, so she might not be able to register pain or even feel pain in ways that other people are. And I think this is a key component to the story, because everybody's like ragging on them of just being, being out for a cheap and easy buck and the overly litigious society. But I think that changes the equation. We don't know. It's in the middle of the suit, but they are suing. Basically, they were saying the poor training, or just people not following protocol, that they served a McNugget that was way too scalding hot, and that it was in her lap, a Happy Meal that's through this cardboard, that when it was sitting in her lap for 2 minutes, and the girl, for whatever reason, couldn't register pain, and the parents didn't know that she was in pain, the mother. So they're suing now. And of course, it's a talker. People are talking about it, but we'll see. We'll see
Anything
what
else to
happens.
it? I don't want to. I don't want to jump or judge, and I feel bad for the little girl. But like, isn't that the best when it's hot? Maybe I'm wrong. Like, when McDonald's fries are fresh, they are scalding hot. They are. That's on purpose. And it's your choice to eat it scalding hot or not. To me, that's the best point of the fry, is right when it's out of the fryer, scalding hot. I'm a grown adult. That's my choice. Why would the parents, if your daughter can't register pain?
Right. And this comes to parental responsibility versus corporate responsibility. And yeah, how do you let the girl have any kind of food in her lap? These are all questions that are legitimate questions. And, are they just looking to make a quick buck, or is there something more to this? And this is why we have trials and juries. It's a wonderful thing. And lawyers arguing the case, and we'll see what happens in the end. But former colleague Rafael Almeida covers courts, and he unearthed this story and he wrote about it. I'm sure it's going to make big national headlines. I'm sure people will line up in their usual tribal camps and based on politics. And you might be seeing this on certain news channels where they'll try to cry about the whole sad state of personal responsibility or parental responsibility in America. But I say let's see what happens. And again, it's just the basic contention of the suit is that it was the chicken McNuggets inside of the Happy Meal were unreasonably and dangerously hot and caused the victim's skin and flesh around her thighs to burn. Burns were second degree, and the chicken was on her thigh for nearly 2 minutes. The girl, whose name is not disclosed in the lawsuit, is autistic and will not be testifying. So there you have it. That's the big food talker of the day. It's always something here in South Florida, and that was Tamarack. So it is a local story. I'm sure the New York Post might eventually be picking up on it, so Defo will read about it and then comment on it here. See, I had to take that shot. I had to,
but that's it right there.
I just want the guy to spend the 99 cents to get the Sun Sentinel digital subscription, and then
maybe I'll get
it's he could read Dave Hyde, get all the latest
Post sports section. Look, and the Post leans a way that I don't lean clearly, but the sports section's ridiculous. I can't lie. When you do 5 pages on baseball, when we don't even have a
it's great. Look, Rupert Murdoch, for all his faults, he's willing to have a loss leader, which is meaning a big pile of red ink or whatever you call it. He's willing to lose lots of money on that publication just because he wants to have a vocal print presence in New York City, the media capital. And he also apparently knows that the readership base of the New York Post wants a good, strong sports section where everybody goes everywhere and covers everything in depth. And it's one of the few sports sections left of a newspaper these days that still does that. So props to the New York Post Sports Department and Defo for being a valued subscriber. All right, we got to do one more break. And we got to talk about our friends. For those who don't want to go out into restaurant land on Mother's Day, I've got the perfect alternative for you, and that name is Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, because you can go in there, and this is great. You go in there and pick up all the provisions you need to make mom a wonderful stay-at-home meal. You could throw some steaks on the grill, those Braveheart beef that we had last month. Better yet, you get, well, not in addition to, you can get some great fresh fish.
Yes.
Do some grilled fish, and also get some shrimp. Have a shrimp
Shrimp.
cocktail, lobster, crab, all the seafood favorites, clams. You can steam up some clams as a first course. Whatever you want, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market will have it for your home cooking, for your feast for mom, or for any day of the week. Go in there. It's at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just south of Sterling Road, just across from the old Seminole Classic Casino. You can't miss it because of the big chicken on the roof.
Yes.
We'll be out there for our monthly show on Thursday, May 25th. We'll be also talking with some representatives from the people at Performance Food Group, and they're going to be spotlighting other proteins this month for the summer grill season, including ribs and some pork tenderloins and other products that they have. Performance Food Group out of Miami. Also, they have the Braveheart beef. Is fabulous. Go into go into Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Owner Doug Carter and crew, they'll take great care of you. Again, one of those old school places. They know your name. They know how to make people happy. You'll go home happy. You'll prepare the food. It'll be a wonderful Mother's Day meal. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
And when we get back, we wrap up this edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox as we get ready for our return to the pizza spot tomorrow. More Mike Mayo's Lunchbox next.
Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. With a huge menu with something for everyone. Seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, deli specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day. Open 7 days until late. Parking available on site. Happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at ArubaBeachCafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Back on the Lunchbox. I'm eating lunch. Today, I actually put in a takeout order from Cluckin' Hot Chicks, a new kind of drive-through takeout restaurant in Dania Beach, former home of a Checkers. I've formed some definitive opinions here, Lubie.
Okay.
Number one, among the side dishes, the collard greens, clear-cut winner. I've just been diving into them on the break. Yeah, they have nice little pieces of the ham, bacon, whatever.
Nice, yeah.
good ham
Ham
hock
hocks,
flavor, good
yeah, yeah.
little vinegary
Okay.
kick in it. Really good, chopped up nice, not stringy at all.
Okay.
Again, I'd rank mac and cheese number 2, potato salad, which I didn't want, but somehow I hit the button for potato salad. That would be number 3. It's just kind of bland and overly mayonnaisey, but I guess that's Southern style. But again, the sides are a nice enhancement to the typical fast food place. The chicken sandwich itself, I've gone back and forth because the first bite I thought there was too much of the batter and I didn't get enough chicken. Then in the middle part of the section of the sandwich, I was very happy and I was getting big chunks of chicken and nice heat, and I kept going. Now at the end, it kind of had a discordant finish. I'm going into my crit
Okay.
talk because there's like rivulets of grease flowing down from the edge of this thing now. I had to go out and get extra towels, and also very kind of like salty on the edges there. And I guess that's Nashville style, where you get that greasy, kind of a little bit overly seasoned kick at the end. I guess the end of this sandwich you can see, but overall, I guess I would go back. It's if you want the hot chicken experience, and I ordered mine hot. Maybe next time I'll go for insanely hot, maybe not the highest level, because I like turning up the heat index and see how much I can take. But again, those collard greens and one of those sandwiches, that's a fine meal. Question for you though, Luby, and I know we got to wrap up soon, but one of the big topics on Let's Eat is the whole tipping and tipping culture now. What do you do? Well, I ordered this online through their online platform, and after putting in my order for a sandwich, and then it was 2 sides, and then the tax, it was like 9 plus 2 plus 2. So that it's let me see, carry the one. It's 13 plus tax. But then they had a tip component. They had a screen, and this is a drive-through. It's like going through a Checkers. What would you do? Do you hit the 0 button, 10%? That my options were 15, 18, 20, or 0.
But you're picking it up, right? You were picking it up.
I'm driving through the drive-through window and picking it up in my car.
You're not tipping. Are you sure? Okay. I'm not gonna try.
You seem confounded by this.
Like I grew up, and maybe my family was cheap. I don't know. I grew up that they never did delivery, never. So I grew up. You never do delivery.
This style of restaurant, Luby, I agree with you. I am prone to leave the big goose egg. But then I remembered my name. I've linked up my name and email address on here. So because I have a name and maybe a reputation, I don't want to be known as the food guy who runs Let's Eat, who's always kind of taking up for restaurants and workers. And I understand that I'm sympathetic. I hit the 18% button.
That's fine. Look,
I said, you know what?
My wife has guilted me into doing that, and I've been around you, so I step up in certain areas. I worked in the service industry. I worked at friggin' Sparrows. I was a pizza delivery driver. I'm all for it. Believe me. I've always tipped at least 20%, and I've never graded on was it good or bad. My grandfather did that, and no, I've never done that. You could be the worst service ever. I'm going to give you at least 20%, and it usually gears toward 25%,
right?
Maybe 30.
But at a place that you're, that like this kind of place, right?
When I do delivery, I try to give them a nice tip, but I don't like delivery, so I never do delivery. When I do
delivery, you got to give the delivery driver at least,
I don't know about
$2 plus whatever, Yeah, it's
when I pick up, I never tipped because to me, I'm picking it up. Now my wife has made me feel like a piece of work for doing that. So I started tipping a couple bucks, and then that wasn't good enough. So now I guess I do a percentage.
I get it. I get it. I mean, I understand, especially for things that traditionally you didn't expect to, when you roll up to a drive-through restaurants, even if you can order in advance, you don't, there's a guy who's just put the bag, the food in the bag and leans over and gives it to you. And he doesn't even have to take money and make change. I mean, when you go through a Dunkin' Donuts, I guess I give him $1 now because I've gotten conditioned to giving the $1 or $2 at Starbucks. So it's this whole spiral of tipping that I guess it's driving a lot of people. They're not, I guess, upset about the money. They just don't know where it all ends. So
it used to just be
right. Certain situations,
valet,
full service sit down restaurant, a valet parker, right? Yeah,
but like so every person's tipping. Like I guess I mean, some people make money, and I know not a lot of people do, but some do. Like I don't understand why everyone gets a tip.
I'm mindful of it, but here's one thing I do know today. Defo, no tip today. He was a little bit surly to me. He was.
This is it. This. You want to know what happened? This happened. This. You love poking the bear.
I do poke the bear, especially when the bear's not there. He's out sunning on a boat somewhere. He's like, when he said he had to cut out early, I thought, oh, another doctor's appointment, and he's got to get some injection and some body part, and that's fine. But he's going out sunning and boating, and you know what? He deserves it. He's worked hard.
He works hard. He's in his 70s. Fine. Just like you to go to the Keys.
He's a little bit crankier.
We all work hard. We appreciate everyone who watched. You wanted food talk. You got food talk today. So
and that's it. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for today. Come on out and join us at Pizza Spot tomorrow. It's really easy to find there, 602 Southwest 12th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. Just plug it into your GPS system. And we're going to be having a little pizza party. You don't even have to bring a jar of sauce this time. No sauce fest. We're just going to be enjoying Wade and Reese and their great products, their great pizza. Come on out. We'll be doing the show 12 to 1 Wednesday as usual. So until then, enjoy every hot chicken sandwich, and that's it.